A Life with Words by Tanner Ames. My life of writing began with a yellow pillow. There's nothing significant about this pillow other than that it was mine. It was yellow and small enough only to fit my toddler head, unlike regular pillows, which at the time I could use as a bed. I was proud of this pillow despite its lack of specialty, for it was mine. And I decided to take the letters that were all around me on my two older brothers' homework assignments, the books that they would bring home, the magazines or manuals that my parents kept, and I decided I would brand my name on my pillow. Unfortunately, I was only familiar with the shapes of letters and numbers, not their sounds or their meanings. The name that I wrote was really just a random slew of symbols, a combination of letters and numbers that lacked any coherence. Though I was proud to show the world my first bit of writing, because although it was complete nonsense to any who could read, to me it was my name. I beamed with pride until my father threw the pillow away because my writing ruined it. I had a love for words which was constantly challenged, and despite my setbacks, I have been able to prosper, mostly with the help of the local library. My family had books out, though most were repair manuals or medical books from the time my mother spent caring for the elderly. However, there was a lack for children. Most of this is due to my being the third child. I was given hand-me-downs, but my brothers left books damaged beyond readability. This became a major setback in my young life, and it would seem no surprise that I refused to read in my first few years of schooling. Teachers from preschool and kindergarten let my stubbornness pass because it was common for kids to skip reading. Though by the first grade it was expected that children read well. Don't get me wrong, I loved school more than anything. I had friends there, and I had an interest in learning. I simply did not like reading. This stubbornness persisted until the second grade, when my teacher offered me a book about a boy and his dog. Our family wasn't allowed pets due to renting restrictions, so I had dreamed of having a dog for years. But reading this book, Henry and Mudge, both satisfied my need for a pet and also fueled my desire for one. I was able to live life with man's best friend through Henry. I learned soon after that there was a lot that I could explore through literature. I may not have had grueling adventures in the small town of Winnemucca, but I was able to experience much more through my reading. School was both substantial and exhaustive for my reading and writing. Some teachers helped tremendously, while others attempted to halt my growing aspirations. My fourth grade teacher became a stumbling block as he refused to allow me to read books that I was interested in, some because they were past my reading level, and others because I was supposed to only read non-fiction type books. Luckily for me, I lived 2 blocks away from the library. I also had a grandmother who delighted in bringing me to the library. So I checked out books that I wanted to read and found myself struggling through them. However, I finished them regardless of how many words I needed to look up in the dictionary. The library quickly became a home away from home for me, just as school had before. I struggled with my brothers, so anywhere that was not my actual house became a favorite place. And the librarians were kind to me. They would converse with me despite my being young. They would help me find new books to read and would even waive some of the fines that I had accrued. I had 3 brothers, so it was difficult to keep eyes on every book that I would check out. I was so grateful for the library that when I was old enough, I volunteered my time. After leaving school and finishing homework, I would help shelf books or plan crafts. The summer reading program was always a lot of effort for the library to host, but my friends and I helped as much as we could. The program rewarded children for continuing to read in the summer, which I always felt to be a worthwhile objective. The local library is an important place, especially now that schools and government agencies are becoming more reliant on technology. Schools typically expect students to have computers at home. However, not every household is able to afford a computer, internet, word processors, all of which my family lacked. This proved to be another setback in my life. When I was in high school, I attempted to turn essays in, meticulously typed on my electric typewriter, which I had found at a thrift store, which was a deal in comparison to a computer. However, there was no correction tape, so mistakes resulted with a crumbled ball thrown across the room. However, despite my time and work, essays not printed from a computer were just discarded. The library at the time was open until 9 p.m. on 2 nights of the week, which was lucky for me as I spent many nights typing or retyping essays. And once again, the library proved to be a miracle place that saved my reading and writing career. The librarians would even allow me more time on the computers if it was needed. To top it off, they waived my printing costs. Though I was given more time on the computers, I worked as quickly as I could. Seeing others turned away from the computers so I could work upset me, so I attempted to use the computer for less than the allotted hour. I grew accustomed to rushed work, and my teachers gave me high remarks. This led me to believe that my best work was last-minute or rushed work. However, as I have grown in my writing career, I have realized that I just never gave time a chance. I never put a lot of time into work because I knew that what I turned in was going to be good enough. Through my college career, I have been able to write many essays. I have only been proud of a small amount, though. One of the largest obstacles that I faced happened to be because I became upset with my work. I grew disappointed in my inability to create something truly worthwhile, something more than good enough. My capstone project for my bachelor's degree is now finished. In this project, I wrote over 50 pages broadcasting the concepts that I had learned in my many years at Great Basin College. This has been the most work that I have put into my writing. I researched, I read, I wrote every day for months. However, I was still left disappointed with my work. I was not able to touch on all of the topics that I had wanted to. In all actuality, I ran out of time and I got sloppy. Some of it is still the best writing that I have ever written. It was reviewed by my mentor, my peers, by my wife, and my friends. I even subjected my coworkers to reading it. I was so proud, but like my yellow pillow, it was not enough. As I turned my project in, I could not help but see my pillow getting tossed in the trash. As a child, I could have grabbed the pillow out of the trash, but I did not. I know now that I can still recover from my mistakes. Literature is my passion. It slowly but surely took hold of my life. Reading takes me places that I would never get to go otherwise. It allows me to live the lives of others, and I believe fully that reading creates understanding. Writing is also important in my life. Through my writing, I have learned to work harder for the things that I want. Though I may not be fully content where I sit, I know that I will be when I am able to give writing more time. It just takes some time. Most importantly, I believe in the power of libraries. I am happy to now work in the same library that was once my home away from home, so I can now help the kids who need the same help that I once did. Thank you.